Chinese brands almost never broke out of China's borders just 6 years ago.
Yeah, China was the world's manufacturing powerhouse, but selling directly to American consumers, that was unheard of.
Fast forward to today, and everything is changing.
Instagram and YouTube are being challenged by TikTok. Tesla is being challenged by BYD. In many countries, Apple is up against Huawei and Xiaomi. Amazon is scrambling to fend off Temu and Shein. And as Starbucks sales decline across the US, Luckin Coffee, Hey and Choggy are opening physical stores in American cities. Oh, and that viral Labubu doll you keep seeing, not only is it made in China, but it's totally marketed and sold by a Chinese company called PopMart, which only opened its first American store 3 years ago. Today, it has 37 locations, with plans to double that.
China isn't just making your products anymore, it's selling them directly to you.
In the 21st century, the Cold War isn't just fought with missiles or ideology. It's fought with smartphones, coffee cups, shopping carts, and social feeds. From Silicon Valley to Shenzhen, from Seattle to Shanghai, the real power struggle between the US and China is over your attention, your wallet, and your loyalty.
And the US is worried.
Huawei is banned, BYD can't really sell here, there's bipartisan pressure to ban or force a sale of TikTok, and Temu and Shein are under federal investigation.
This is no longer just a tech or trade issue, this is a consumer war. In today's video, I'm doing a deep dive on America versus China through the lens of consumer brands, and we're gonna focus on 5 chapters.
Tech, cars, social media, e-commerce, and coffee. These 5 industries alone represent hundreds of billions of dollars spent each year by the American consumer, and the balance of power is shifting.
In some categories, China is gaining ground fast. In others, America is fighting back hard.
Let's break it down. First, tech, the battle for your pocket.
Apple is not just a tech company, but a symbol of American soft power.
In 2024, Apple's iPhone made up nearly 50% of all smartphone sales in the US. In China, it captured about 16% of the market, a high figure for a foreign brand. But Apple is facing growing resistance in China, where the government has been quietly banning iPhones from state-owned companies and urging a return to domestic brands like Huawei. Huawei has been hurt by US sanctions, but it kind of shocked the world in 2023 with the release of its Mate 60 Pro, 5G phone using China-made chips.
The launch was so political that state media framed it as a technological victory over US export controls.
Meanwhile, there's Xiaomi. It's China's Apple for the masses company, which dominates emerging markets. It shipped 145 million smartphones globally in 2023, making it the 3rd largest phone maker in the world. Its pricing, aggressive. Its design, kind of like Apple, and its mission is to disrupt. This is not just about phones, it's about ecosystems. Apple has iCloud, iMessage, Apple Pay. Huawei counters with Harmony OS and its own app gallery. Each side is building not just devices, but digital universes designed to keep consumers inside, and their rivals kind of locked out. The second one is cars, electric empire builders.
Tesla used to be the biggest EV maker in the world, but now
it's BYD. I made a whole video inside its showroom in Dubai. Check it out and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this. In 2024, BYD outsold Tesla in total vehicles thanks to a mix of hybrids and EVs. But even in pure electric cars, it's now pulling ahead of Tesla in some quarters. In the US, Tesla dominates, but in China, Tesla's market share keeps shrinking. Meanwhile, BYD is selling EVs like the Seagull for under $11,000 with over 250 miles of range. It costs a third of what a Tesla Model 3 does, and it's shockingly good. BYD isn't just a car maker, it makes its own batteries, chips, semiconductors, even ships. That vertical control gives it a huge advantage. Now it's going global, rapidly opening showrooms in Europe, Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Mexico, just miles from the US border. Detroit is worried. Auto execs are calling Chinese EVs a national security threat and urging Washington to block them before they can hit US showrooms at scale. See, right now, most Chinese EVs aren't sold in the US, not because they're banned, but because tariffs are high and tech regulations are tightening. But that could quickly change, especially if brands like BYD start assembling vehicles in Mexico to essentially bypass tariff trade agreements. See, that's why US automakers are sounding the alarm. They're worried these ultra-cheap EVs, packed with Chinese software, sensors, and connectivity, could undercut American brands and potentially collect sensitive data.
Welcome to the new auto war, not electric versus gas, but Tesla versus BYD.
Social media, a war of influence.
Washington is obsessed with TikTok.
With over 170 million US users, it's the most downloaded app in the country, and it commands the attention of Gen Z like no other platform. The average American user spends almost an hour per day on TikTok. That's more than YouTube, more than Instagram or Facebook. Meta and Google's YouTube are fighting back with Reels and Shorts. But let's be honest, TikTok redefined the format. It turned many users into creators and every scroll into a dopamine hit and many trends into a phenomenon.
But the drama isn't just about the algorithm. algorithm, it's geopolitical.
Lawmakers have tried to ban TikTok over fears that its parent company ByteDance could share US user data with the Chinese government. Now, TikTok denies this, has relocated data to Texas, and launched a charm offensive. Still, the skepticism runs deep.
Meanwhile, China bans YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram within its own borders.
It's not a fair fight. American companies can't compete in China while TikTok dominates in the US. This asymmetry is fueling outrage in DC and may lead to a forced sale or shutdown of TikTok's US operation.
It's not just about content, it's about cultural dominance, and right now, TikTok is winning that.
E-commerce, the price wars.
Amazon pulled in over $400 billion in US consumer spending in 2024.
But two Chinese apps, Shein and Temu, are giving Bezos a headache. I want to take a quick break to raise a serious issue that affects you and me. We all do things to protect our homes, cars, and personal property from theft. But today, most of us don't think enough about our digital footprint. Cyber criminals stole $16.6 billion in the US alone in 2024. Right now, data brokers are collecting and selling personal information for profit. Names, addresses, social media profiles, court records, even social security numbers, all are being used to build detailed profiles on people like you and me. These profiles are often sold to advertisers, which is why you get flooded with spam emails, calls, and messages. But it doesn't stop there. That same data also ends up in the hands of scammers. That's where today's sponsor, Incogni, comes in. Incogni automatically reaches out to data brokers on your behalf, requests that they delete your personal data, and handles any pushback, keeping your info from landing on the black market. They also offer ongoing protection by performing repeat removals, making sure your data stays off these lists if they ever reappear. And if you upgrade to their unlimited plan, you unlock custom removals, where Incogni targets specific brokers or data types you want removed. It's extra control and peace of mind. Getting started is easy. Just create an account and give Incogni permission to work for you. That's it. Take control of your data and protect yourself from hacks and scams. Click the link in my description to get started. You'll be helping to support this channel and get 60% off the annual Incogni plan. I'm really glad tools like Incogni exist because they make personal privacy protection simple. And now, back to the video. Shein is the fast fashion juggernaut, which until recently accounted for up to 50% of online fast fashion sales in the US. See, it ships directly from China, bypassing tariffs thanks to the de minimis rule, which would exempt shipments under $800 from import duties. But that loophole is under political fire, with Trump saying no more. Temu, which is owned by PDD Holdings, is the newest player and arguably the most aggressive. It spent over $2 billion on US marketing in 1 year and now ranks as a top shopping app. With prices that seem too good to be true, $2 for socks, $5 for electronics, Temu has turned e-commerce into a digital dollar store. And they're bleeding cash to gain market share. Temu loses money on every order, but doesn't care because their goal here is to dominate. Check out my other video I made about Temu and Shein versus Amazon.
China is not just the world's factory anymore, it's becoming the retailer.
Coffee, the caffeine clash.
Even though Starbucks has built its empire in the United States,
Its fastest growing market is now China, where it operates 6,800 stores and plans to hit 9,000 by 2025. Yet despite the scale, it's under siege. Enter Luckin Coffee. Once disgraced for faking financials, Luckin has now staged a comeback and now operates over 18,000 stores in China. That's double Starbucks' footprint. In 2023, it outsold Starbucks in China for the first time ever. Its strategy? Mobile first, low prices, and crazy sensational drinks like the cheese lattes and coconut espressos.
then there's Choggy and Haiti, two Chinese tea chains that I've visited both in China and also now in the United States, offering customers unique and new flavors that they don't get at Starbucks.
Choggy just opened its first location in the US and more are coming. Together, these brands are re-engineering what a cafe means. Not a third place for chatting, but a digitally optimized grab-and-go lifestyle brand. In the US, Starbucks still commands about 40% of the coffee house market and rakes in over $23 billion per year domestically. But it's facing brand fatigue and labor union pressure. Meanwhile, Chinese coffee culture is evolving rapidly, merging tech, trend, and taste faster than Starbucks.
This isn't just about products, but it's about power.
China isn't just making things anymore, it's making trends, hype, headlines, and shipping them straight to your feed, your street, and your wallet. The $9,000 EV, the viral doll, the tea shop that feels like a designer brand. But the US does still have its edge. Platforms, storytelling, and global influence.
The real question, for how long?
This is the new Cold War, fought with algorithms, shopping carts, and coffee cups. And whether you realize it or not,
You're already a part of it. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? How do you see this playing out between the US and China? Can the US continue to be reactive and play catch up and try to stop these Chinese consumer brands from expanding and growing in the US market? While you're at it, make sure to check out more of my videos like Inside the Shanghai Auto Show, my deep dive analysis between Temu, Shein and Amazon, and many more videos just like this, and I'll see you in the next one.